All right, for this type of graph right here, this equation actually is, I know it's an inequality, but we're going to look at it like an equation. 2x plus y is equal to 2, because that's going to give us the line where we have equality between the two expressions right there. What I'm going to do to graph this line actually is I'm going to use my intercepts. So I'm going to start with a x-intercept, which is going to have a y value that's 0. If this y is 0, so if that y is 0, you end up with 2x plus the y is now 0, and we're solving for the corresponding value of x. The reason why this works is because in standard form like this, it pretty much gets rid of one of the terms. And now to solve for this, all I got to do is divide both sides by 2, and I see x is 1. So that gives me the ordered pair 1, 0, which is right there on the graph. Then I would want to find the y-intercept. So in a y-intercept, the x value will be 0. And again, we would solve this as, instead of 2x, now it's 2 times 0 plus y equals 2. But again, since it's being multiplied by 0, I can just kind of get rid of that term and see that my corresponding y-intercept is going to be 2. Now, if you solve for the slope on this one, you can see between the 2 points, you'd go down 2 and then to the right 1. Which means that if you were solving for slope, not that we are, but you would go down 2 to the right 1, or you could just write it in as -2. We're not worried about that, but if that's what you did, that's fine. And the only reason you'd want to do that is so you can find the other points on the graph to make graphing this a little bit easier. And yes, like we've seen before, this creates a little bit of a stair step, and if you just copy that stair step throughout proceeding from every point that you put on there, then it should work. The next thing that we're going to do for this one is determine if it should be solid. And this one should be solid because you can see the equal sign as part of the inequality. So I'm going to try my best to make that straight. That looks okay. Now we need a side of the line shade. And since it's not going through the origin, I'm going to test the origin at 0, 0 in the original inequality. So remember, our inequality is 2x plus y is less than or equal to 2, but now we're going to replace the x and the y with 0 because we are testing the ordered pair from the origin to see if it's true. Well, 0 times anything is 0, and 0 plus anything is itself, including 0, so I now have 0 is less than or equal to 2. This right here is true, and since it is true, that means we will shade that side of the line. So again, if you just had a pencil, some students like to show like perpendicular lines like this. Try not to cover up the work, but I don't know if it's working. Some students like to crosshatch something like this one. It's up to you guys, but this would work on an exam. Again, as long as you let your professor know or your teacher know that this is definitely the side of the line that you're shading. And yes, some students in the past have brought in colored pencils, markers, crayons, stuff like that, and then they can make it look even better. But either way, this is the graph that we have. That's the graph that works. That's the graph that you'd want if you want full credit.